Alright, let's see if that fixed it. Oh, did I unplug it? I did. Yeah. Alright. Let's see if whatever's left in there gets pulled out when I turn it on. I think it's still plugged. Oh, maybe not. So that's further than we got last time, because last time I was getting no suction at all from this. And whenever I first unboxed it, there was white fluff, like completely plugged in this chamber up here, like right where it enters the cyclone. And there were, oh my, look at that. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, so this thing was like completely plugged. But it looks like the last bit of it just got pulled out, it looks like. Which is great, you know, whenever I paid $160 for a vacuum. It's great how it arrives all clogged up. It's fantastic. Beauty of owning multiple vacuums, at least. I can unclog a vacuum with a vacuum. Look at that. Ow! Fuck! Sorry for that. I turned to look at the vacuum and the handle bopped me right on my head. The handle up here just fell and just smacked me right in the head really hard. Ouch. Anyways, so I think I finally just fixed my new Fury. I shouldn't have had to do this. $160. But if this works now, I'll still be happy with it. Also, it needs a new friggin' light bulb. But that's no big deal. I can get those easily. So I think my Fury hopefully finally works now. I finally got a good Fury. Let's try it. Let's try it now. Hopefully now it's good. Welp, I'm happy. This thing works. Look at that. Groomed the carpet beautifully. Even got up a little dust bunny in there. Still needs a headlight, but that's no big deal. But yeah, so it works. Works very nicely. Actually, I think the headlight is still good in my old Fury. Well, no, I think it was going out. I don't remember. If it is, I could just put that bulb in here, but I probably just put a fresh one in anyways. I think you can still get bulbs for these. I'm not quite sure. I know my Thunder has 2 good bulbs in it. Actually, do the Thunder and the Fury use the same bulbs? I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure if I looked it up, I'd figure it out. But yeah, so my Fury is finally working. After buying 2 of them and after spending a bunch of time fixing this one because it was clogged. Hey, I would rather have it be clogged than have it have a bad motor or a bad brush roll. So even with how much I paid, I'm still not necessarily complaining. Or at the very least, I'm complaining, but I'm content. Because the Fury works now, and I finally have a working Fury. So I'm super happy about that. Plus, I guess right now, this is technically the only real Fantom I have that's working properly, because this one works beautifully, but it's technically a Kenmore. I mean, it's technically still a Fury, still a Fantom, but it's also technically a Kenmore. It's weird how that works, because this is by all means a Fantom, but it doesn't say Fantom. It says Kenmore. Whatever, you get the idea. So, and also I used the new PowerGroom to look at all this. All of this it pulled out of the Fury. And that's not even all of it. That's far from all of it. There was significantly more that was pulled out of the Fury whenever I first unboxed it. So there was a ton of this fuzz. And the weird thing is like most of this fuzz was still white. It looked like someone had like completely like intentionally plugged this with like stuffing from like a stuffed animal or from a couch or something, because it was clear, it was clean, like the fuzz was clean. Obviously now this isn't, but what was at first in the machine was still pure white fuzz. So I don't have an explanation as to why. I mean, I almost thought, oh, maybe they put it in there for shipping, but they plugged it up with it all throughout the vacuum in shipping. That makes no sense. So I don't know what the logic was. And again, someone had clearly cleaned it out and then plugged it up with all this stuff because it was clean. Like this fuzz was clean. So I don't have any explanation for that. I can't think of an explanation. If any of you guys can think of an explanation, I'll probably ask the eBay seller. Like I'm not mad, you know, like obviously I got it plugged up, but I'm just so curious because it's like, why was there white fuzz completely plugged up inside of this vacuum? I don't understand it. But hey, I guess it's funny either way. And the machine works, so I'm happy with it. And you know, I'm just happy that it's working. It sounds perfect. It sounds just like the old infomercials with the Fury, although most of those infomercials show the 11 amp Fury, but the motors sound the same between the 11 and the 12 amp. At least they're supposed to, from what I understand. The only thing now is that now that I got this working, I saw on OfferUp a few people, I saw on a few different websites, some people selling the copper versions, and as you guys know, the copper version is the one that I really want. So whenever I get some extra cash, I'll probably snag one of those too. And if I snag one of those, I don't need 3 Furies. So if I snag one of those orange ones, I may sell my 10 amp one. I'm not quite sure. Or I might just keep it around, and then if I get one that's cosmetically wrecked but has a good motor, because my 10 amp one is cosmetically in good shape, kind of. Actually, it's really not, but I mean, it's passable, but it has a bad motor. So yeah. So that's my 12 amp Fantom Fury, now officially working good and still in excellent condition. Still has kind of all the attachments, but instead of having the dusting brush, it has the pet hair tool, which is really rare and hard to find. There is like a little holster you can get that attaches to this, so you can put the pet hair tool right here and then still have the dusting brush on it. But I haven't found one of those yet, but I am on the hunt for one of those adapters. So if any of you guys have one of those adapters that you'd like to sell to me for a couple bucks, I'd gladly get it from you. As well as just other Fantom tools, because my Destiny Plus has the floor tool and crevice tool, but it's missing the dusting brush. And so I need 2 dusting brushes. And then my 10 amp Fury has all the attachments, including the dusting brush. So I do own a Fantom dusting brush. It's just on the other Fury. But I would like to have 2 more dusting brushes, so both of these have one. And beyond that, I'm very, very happy with this. But yeah, why don't we just go ahead and just lay this down real quick, and we can get a look at that brush roll. Because the brush roll is in, like, it's got all this fine dust on it from how well this thing's picking up. But yeah, this brush roll is smooth. This is a smooth brush roll. And the bristles still stick out a little bit, so they're still agitating well. This looks like a new brush roll, honestly. It looks pretty much like a new brush roll. And I'm very, very happy with it. Like, it's almost too smooth, in a way. I don't know if that's even possible, or maybe there's just something that they did to it. But, there's no cracks that I can see along this bottom portion. Everything looks to be in good shape. There's nothing out of the ordinary, at least not that I can grasp onto, other than the headlight, but that's no big deal. Truth be told, if I was selling a vacuum with a burnt-out headlight, I probably wouldn't even bother to replace the bulb either way, so I can't really blame them for that. Again, even with how much this machine is, a bulb is like, what, $2? So, you know, I know some people be like, well, I paid this much, so they should have included that. Yeah, I get that, but I'm not, you know, a stickler about that. So, you know, and again, at least, you know, at least there's an option for headlights. I suppose other machines that should have headlights but don't, and just have, you know, empty spaces where the headlight should be. At least this one actually has the spot for a headlight, and it's missing. It has the cover too, and it's in good shape. I know these covers tend to break and go missing a lot on these Furies. And even the later limited edition, special edition, and Crosswind 200 XL, these lens covers would always break off. But this one's in good shape. This thing's got like a couple scratches on it. It's not brand new condition or anything, like some lucky collectors are able to get it, but it's definitely passable for sure, and it's still shiny. They clearly the seller did a very good job of polishing this and making it look very nice, and I'm very, very happy with it. But yeah, I'm pretty much just gushing about this thing. But yeah, so this Fury is just I just really, really like it. I'm so happy to have one working, and like I said, I paid $160 for this. After shipping and everything. So after everything's said and done, that's what came out of my wallet. And yeah, considering how good the brush roll is, how good the belt is, how good the performance is, how good it sounds, how good cosmetically it is, I'm happy with it, because these retailed for, I think, $230 when they were new, and adjusting for inflation, that's around $350. That's just under $350. So after taxes, you're looking at like $350 in today's currency. And I'll tell you what, like my local Walmart, granted they've been out of stock of them for a while, so I'm pretty sure they're discontinuing them, but has the Dyson light bulb for like what, $250, $280? Actually, I think it's $280. And yeah, so if I had the option between buying that in today's money or spending $350 and buying one of these, I would buy one of these any day. Obviously, these aren't available anymore, unfortunately. I really wish there was somehow the ability for someone to regain the patents to the Fantom name and get access to the moldings and the schematics, and somehow be able to rebuild and remanufacture these things with new motors. Meaning, like, make new stock, like bring them back into production. I know that's probably never going to happen, but I could imagine Uh, because again, it's such a niche market of vacuum collectors who want to see new machines like this. Plus in theory, it'd probably devalue the original machines um, if they actually used the Fantom name and actually made it identical 1-to-1 to the original machines. Then I could see how that could kind of mess with collectors a little bit. But I mean, hell, they could, just just put the Europro Fantom name on the front of it, or just make a new Fantom logo. So then oh, this is an original Fantom. The other one's the new 2020s Fantom. I don't know. I wish I could do that. That'd be so cool to bring these back to life and start being able to manufacture these again. Because obviously you have to worry about patents and shit because the company's been bankrupt for 20 years. So the only things you have to worry about is with the Lightning. Dyson pretty much owns the patent on the machine. But I mean, would Dyson even care? It's based off the DC-02. They're not even making upright and canister vacuums anymore, or not developing them, I should say. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just rambling. Sorry for my rambling, but again, so I have the Fury now. It runs beautifully. It cleans very, very well. I'm super happy to have it. I greatly prefer it to the Thunder. And one little note about my vacuum reviews is that the way that I'm going about it moving forward is that a machine like this that's not on the market anymore, I'm basically reviewing it from the perspective of myself as a collector and just kind of talking about what I like and don't like about it, and not necessarily like going in depth about whether you specifically should buy it and all that stuff, because that sort of thing I'm saving for machines that are still on the market, like that PowerGroom. You can still buy that PowerGroom. So the review for that is going to be more so like, hey, should you buy this? Here are the pros and cons. Here's what it's good for. Here's what it's not good for. Is it worth the price? Crap like that. Whereas this is more so just like, hey, I got this. Here's what I like about it. Blah, 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 blah. And rambling and ranting, that sort of thing. So with that in mind, the Fantom Fury is, well, first off, again, one of the reasons why I always wanted one of these things is because it's so much lighter than the Thunder. Now, this thing is still a sturdy piece of kit. It's still beefy. It's a little bit beefier than I thought it was. And the truth is, I think this is actually heavier than my 10 amp one. At least I think. Hold on, let me go get my 10 amp one. I could pause the video, but I don't feel like it. But yeah, let me grab the 10 amp one and see. Yeah, this feels a little bit lighter. It's really hard to hold it like this because the handle's digging into my arm. But yeah, so here's the 10 amp Fury and the 12 amp Fury. And you can see the differences. The shade of green is a little bit darker on the 10 amp Fury. The 10 amp Fury has, you can see like there, like that's a darker green, that's a lighter sort of pastel green. This has got the green on the handle and on the bumper. This does not. This is all black. I actually kind of like the green on this. In theory, if I wanted to, I could just swap the handle and this bumper and add the green to this one. I think I've seen collectors do that before, where they have the 12 amp one, but it still has the green bumpers. I don't know if that was official, if these were always black, or if they made some of these that had the green bumper and handle grip. But, I mean, I guess I could in theory swap it, but I'm probably not going to. But yeah, so put that on high pile. Wow, that doesn't want to go on high pile, does it? There it goes. Okay. I'm kind of worried about that. But yeah, and you can see like this one, this is actually like a 3D print, not printing, but it's actually molded into the plastic and it's textured. You can feel it. You can feel like each bump of the letters. And whereas this is just a sticker. So in theory, if you wanted to make every single collector hate you, you could actually just probably start peeling off the sticker and just rip it off and just completely debrand the vacuum. And you could do the same thing with the Fury badge down here. I've seen these wear off all the time. You can see this one's wearing off. whereas this one actually is wearing a lot better because it's actually pressed into the plastic, and it's also etched, so you can actually feel it in the plastic. I wonder if these bins are interchangeable. That's one random thought I just had. I wonder if these bins are interchangeable. Also, the cyclone assembly is a bit different. Of course, it's got some dust on the... And I just dumped all that out by accident. Oh well. You can see that's a white color, that's a black. This is the problem with these machines, that the dust gets all on the outside. This is the same problem that Bissell does, where because it's an open cup, the dust just gets all over the place. But yeah, so will this fit on this? Oh, maybe not. Maybe. Oh yeah, it does. Fits a little bit. It doesn't feel right. And then this one. Yeah, see, this one feels loose, and then this one feels too tight. So I'm not sure why that is. But that's an interesting little thing. Yeah, see, that one like had to kind of tug on it to get it to come out. And that's one thing I like about the Furies as well, compared to the... Is that supposed to be like that? The Cyclone assembly looks like it's not centered correctly. Oh well. That's another thing I like about the Fury compared to the Thunder, because the Thunder, this, where the Cyclone ends, is much farther down in the bin. So when you're pulling the bin off, like, look how far the Cyclone extends into, like, towards the back end of the dirt container. So when you're pulling this out and you have dirt towards the back, it's going to scrape, it's going to tug on that dirt and yank it out of the bin and just spill it all over the front of the vacuum. And that's one thing they actually, a little design thing they actually thought of when they made the Fury, is that they put the Cyclone much further up. So since the fill line's up here and you know, this ends right here, when you pull this out, none of that dirt is going to be pulled out, because just once you get to this point, it's all going to fall into the bin. It's going to be very little bit of it. It's not going to be a huge chunk of dirt. So you're not going to be spilling dirt out from the dirt container nearly as often as you would with a Thunder. And that's one thing that I really like about the Fury. And you also got to be careful, because this bin sometimes doesn't like to go in properly. It's just hard to do with one hand, because you have to kind of line it up just right. Oh, come on. Come on. This is not sealing correctly. Feels kind of funky. Am I doing this right? Is this Cyclone, like, crooked? Oh, it is. So this Cyclone was crooked, apparently. Let's try this now. There we go. That feels a little bit more proper. But yeah, so, and I guess just for fun, we'll plug in the 10 amp one and see how bad that sounds. Just so you can see the difference again. Because the 10 amp one did not sound very good. So, just to torture you guys, I'll do that. I'll unplug that and plug this one in. And turn this on. That made my eardrums explode, and also the headlight does work on that, so I could put that in this one, and this one. And also comparing the fluff traps. This one has it down here. This one has a little plug that's up here. So that's a bit of a difference as well. And beyond that, also this one has a reset switch, which actually, am I able to even press that? Or will it even let me press it? I don't know. I don't know if it'll let me. Will it? I don't think I'm doing it right. I don't know. And this one just doesn't have one at all, which is odd. Feels a little bit warm right here. Not hot, just a little bit warm. Also, here is the sticker. And it looks like this was manufactured on the 43rd week of 2000. Interesting. At least I'm assuming that's what that means, right? I'm assuming that's kind of like a Dyson, where it's the year and then the week, right? 43rd week, because there's 52 weeks. So I'm assuming this says the 43rd week of 2000. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe that's what that means. And of course, Fantom Technologies, this is well beyond the Iona phase. So, serial number, made in Canada, of course. But yeah. Model number FY63KO3. Style PV9. This one is model number F1005101. I don't know if that 01 is considered in the model number or not. But yeah, so it's style PV1. Interesting, made in Canada. But yeah, this is a long video. But yeah, so anyways, since, you know, I'm probably not going to make... I mean, of course, there's only so many videos I can make on this. But now that I have a good Fantom Fury, I guess I could do a video comparing my two favorite vacuums now, which would be the Fantom Fury and the PowerGlide Platinum. So I could do a video comparing my two favorite vacuums and see which one wins. That'd be an interesting little tidbit thing to check out. But yeah, so there's not much else to say that I can really think of, other than, again, I'm super happy to have this. Also, by the way, I don't think that Furies and Thunders have interchangeable brush rolls, unless like the 10 amp and the 12 amp Fury are different, because I tried to put the brush roll from my Destiny Plus, which is a Thunder, in the 10 amp Fury, and it did not work. It was way too big. So I don't know where I keep hearing people say that the Fury and the Thunder have the same brush roll. I don't think they do, unless I'm missing something, or I misheard what the usual thing is. I know they use the same belts, obviously, because the Dirt Devil style 4 and 5 belts are also earmarked for the Fantom Fury, but they also work on the Thunder, and I've been using, that's what I have on my Thunder, is the Dirt Devil style 4 and 5 / Fury belts. So, yeah. Also, both of these seem to have, you know, semi-good HEPA filter cartridges. This one actually looks like it's a later revision of it. Perhaps. I know the other one's an original Fantom filter. Oh yeah, this one's a third-party filter. But it still says to reorder, contact Fantom Technologies. So is this a genuine filter, or I guess would this be a second-party filter? Because it's, I don't know. It's in really good shape though. But yeah, so it's got that filter in it. Maybe this was the filter that it came with. Maybe just at this point they had switched away from the filters with the pull tabs on them. Also, this one doesn't even say certified HEPA filter, which is odd. Is this a replacement housing? Maybe? I don't know. Whereas this says, but this has the little thing on it. This is a completely different material too. So this is Harding Manufacturing Corp. But it still says to reorder, contact Fantom Technologies. And this is from January of 1997. So this filter was manufactured before the vacuum was, I think. Because I think that date code said, what, the 10th week of 97? Something like that? I'll have to double check that. I'll put the date in the description for both of these. But yeah, so that's both of my Fantom Furies. This one's sounding like a chainsaw, and this one's sounding like an angel. Or this one's sounding like an angel, and this one's sounding like an angle grinder. So, yeah. This was again, sorry, this is a super long video, but I hope this is interesting considering I absolutely adore these Fantoms. And of course, you know, I also got my Destiny Plus, which I'll do a video on as well. And now that this is in good shape, I think I will do a demo with this Fury, just like I did with the Destiny Plus. Not with this one. Not with this one. Unless you want to hear this. For 10 minutes long. Which I doubt you... Oh my god, that smells bad. Yeah, that actually has a burning smell to it, so I'm actually worried that if I run this for longer, it may catch on fire, so I'm not going to do that. Anyways, this is Intelitech Studios with my review, with my what started out as a vacuuming cleaning video and what turned into my full review for my 12 amp Fantom Fury. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next review / demo / whatever. I was going to do my Galaxy Note 7 review soon, but I was going to drop that at the same time that Hugh Jeffries dropped his first Note 7 video, but he decided to drop his video and not credit me for me spending 4 months helping him fix both of his Note 7s, which is very, very lovely, and I absolutely love people like that, where you spend so much time helping them and they just completely take it for granted, pretend like you didn't even help them at all, and just, you know, yeah, gotta love people like that, especially when they're a semi-popular YouTuber, so it's kind of like, yeah, I kind of expected you to be better than this, but, and he's not responding to any of my emails, and he blocked me on Facebook, so, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so, at some point I will post that Galaxy Note 7 review. But that whole thing has just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. But anyways, that's the Fantom Fury vacuum. Oh, I missed some dirt, didn't I? Well, do I want to dirty this thing up? Oh, why not? So that's another thing that a lot of people have noted, is that how the cyclone action doesn't seem to be as strong as it is on the thunder. Which I guess makes sense, because I heard that these things were prone to clogging, so maybe that's why the suction power being a little bit less maybe had something to do with that. But either way, it smells nice too. Like it's not like a I can't even describe that smell, but it's a pleasant smell. It's not like oily or anything. It smells really nice. It smells fresh, but it also doesn't smell like Febreze or anything. So it's not like a artificial freshness. It just smells like it smells new almost, which is weird. But or I guess like a similar sort of smell tone. I don't know, but either way, maybe it's just the dopamine hitting my brain for me liking having one of these so much. Anyways, I'm super duper happy to have this, and thank you so much to the seller who put this up on eBay, even though it was kind of annoying with the whole thing being plugged up. But again, compared to it having, with how good the brush roll is, how good the motor sound, how good the thing works once it was unplugged, I'm not complaining. So yeah, very, very happy to have it. It runs perfectly now, and yeah, it's very, very nice, and super duper happy to have it. But yeah, anyway guys, enough rambling. I'm repeating myself a little bit. So this is Intelitech Studios signing out with my full review of my 12 amp Iona Technologies Fantom Fury. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.